Well, the founders of M were really innovative beyond their time. When you really think at the time they were doing this, most insurance carriers were wanting total control.
At that time, the industry was dominated by mutual carriers, and which had a very high cost, in some people's opinion, inefficient delivery system. So we thought we could change that.
And one of the things we wanted to be able to do was to design products specifically for the marketplace that we were both in.
Mark and Eli had the vision that we could get an insurance company to do something for us that was better in the way of building product than they would do for their own salesmen.
The ideas that Eli and Peter and Carl and Mark Solomon created at that time didn't exist in the industry, and of course many thought they were crazy to try and even do something like this.
When I joined, I wasn't really thinking that we would build M into what it's become today.
We didn't think about creating the value that has been created.
I feel great. I mean, I had a great run there. I built a lot of great friends.
It's all about the friends you made and kept, and M has always been an important part in my life, played a very important role in my life in the friends that I've made and kept.
We had decided that we ought to figure out some way to do business together because we liked each other a lot, and he was basically in the estate planning market and I was in the corporate market.
I look at them, and each of them brought something that was very important, and without it, you ask yourself, would the organization be successful?
Well, Eli delivered flair. He delivered the concept.
I would say he was, of the four of us, clearly the most important one of us because of his drive and organizational abilities.
It was his vision, his drive, and his willingness to really want to take this himself and to be the active CEO.
Eli could see the opportunity that could be developed within M.
Eli was a kind of amazing visionary that had the uncanny ability to synthesize an issue and get to the core of it within seconds.
Eli had the picture in his mind of what was possible, and he believed it was possible, and he was willing to commit his time and energy to build the company and the organization so that it could come to pass.
Mark Solomon, who is passionate about everything, and you combined Eli's vision with Mark's passion, and you create the M concept.
Mark makes everyone that he comes in contact with feel like they are the most important person in the world.
Mark was passionate about the business and about what was being done and how it was being done.
So if I needed somebody to beat on the table, stand up, embrace somebody, and get them motivated, Mark was the guy.
Mark shares strong convictions about what is correct, what is right, what's the right thing to do for your clients.
I've met few people that so passionately held principles, so aggressively defended the principles by which he held so dearly, but was also so open to challenges in any principle or tactical situation and readjust.
I saw some of those things that were being presented to clients and thought, this is a different business than I'm in, and I want to know more about this. And I made a point of being where Mark was and where Eli was.
And Carl brought the Warren Buffett Omaha, great judgment, nothing ever rattled him.
And we knew we needed someone to be associated with us who was acceptable to the mainstream of the insurance industry, and that clearly was Carl.
Carl was the constant. Carl was the steadying force. You knew that you could count on Carl to remember the decisions that had been made and to act on them accordingly. He was just kind of like the rudder for the whole group.
Peter is, to some extent, I think, an actuary buried into a marketer's body.
Peter was, and still is, very creative, very thoughtful, always, analyzed things, sometimes to death, but was great.
Peter is the creative genius. Always has been, always will be.
We thought that one agent going to a carrier and talking about what he or she needed was not likely to be very effective.
We thought we could change that, assuming we found the right carriers.
It wasn't that easy, frankly, to convince a carrier that they should believe us when we said, if you design this and if you price this in the following way, we will bring you the volume that you need.
And pretty much got thrown out of most carriers we went to. I remember being at John Hancock, they threw us out. Phoenix Mutual. I mean, I could give you a whole list of places that we went.
Until we hooked up, and in fact, we hooked up with Security Life at Denver was our first carrier, and that was really kind of the genesis of getting M Financial started.
Eli called me and said, listen, I found this company in Denver, Colorado, and I think they may be interested in having further discussions, but on allowing us to design our own products. And equally, if not more important, they've got a phenomenal ski lodge in near Dillon, Colorado, that we could use, and we ought to talk to them, and we ought to first go check out the ski lodge. So that's, of course, what we did.
The more credible we got with history and the fact that we were delivering quality volume, and the carriers were trying to move from a fixed cost to a variable cost, that really we really hit the market at the right time.
I think we all believe we could make this happen. This was a quality group of people that we enjoyed being with, who sort of had the same view of the world that we did as it related to the client and the industry.
So the best of the best decided that they'd bet on themselves as opposed to bet on somebody else's safety net, and they joined them.
Carriers would win, we would win, our clients would win. So it was an easy story to tell. It was a little more difficult to execute.
And we took great pains to invite people into the group that we thought we would get along well with.
We had people from insurance producers from all different walks of life that did all sorts of different things.
You could see this was the direction to go in. The other system of supporting the agent's productivity and professionalism and so forth simply wasn't going to work.
I think the core value that's been most important to our historical success and will be the most important value to our future success is our focus on client advocacy. We've seen so many companies in the marketplace lose sight of what value they bring to the marketplace, to their clients and their customers, and then they lose their edge in the marketplace. This organization has been extraordinarily successful over its history because of its value proposition and its focus that everything we do is for the benefit of the client. And how does our client get better? How are they enhanced by the action we take? How are they bettered by our product that's in the marketplace? So long as that is our most core value, and as long as we stay focused on that, we will be successful.
We're going to continue to differentiate ourselves because we genuinely care about our clients. We walk the walk, we just don't talk the talk. We're not an ad campaign, clients matter. I think you've got to walk the walk. That is, you've got to reprice products. You've got to show your client the best product that's in their best interest, not what's in the best interest of the member firm or event, and we do that. We do those things, and then from there, all our other differentiation grows from there. But I think it starts with that core of client advocacy.